you dreamed of having one? You imagined driving it, feeling its power, its speed and comfort of getting your hands on one of those mechanical beasts that is both a perfection of human invention and lifestyle. Supercars, hypercars. And so does the name speaks itself. What defines a supercar? Is it power output? Price? Mechanical layout? Truth is, none of the above. At least, not officially, and the demarcations between sports, GT, super and hypercars have become increasingly blurred over the years. But we've got to have some sort of rules, so, for the purposes of this list, we'll define a supercar as nothing super limited production, hand-built to order or in the 7-figure league of rarity. Something you might just use properly on the road or occasional track day rather than tucking away under a fitted car cover in your collection. Sounds fair? Before we proceed to our super list, you may want to hit like, share and subscribe to our channel HyperDAUGH Reviews for uploads and new updates. We will be happy to have you guys on board with us on our new content and journey towards creating more entertaining videos specially made for you guys. Also, if you want to show your kind support to our channel by joining as one of our Patreons and members, you'll get to enjoy membership perks, first-hand video content before we publicly publish it on our channel, as well as get-together members live streaming to better connect and share ideas within our creative group. Hope you'll enjoy this video all throughout. So here's our list. Number 10. Ford GT. The myth and mystique of the Ford GT, stretching back more than 5 decades to the GT40's string of successive victories at Le Mans, would have given this car a larger-than-life presence in any class in which we put it, and lends it an appeal that's utterly unique and difficult to quantify. The car having originally resurrected in 2005, this third coming of the motoring legend is a cleverly conceived road-going version of Ford's World Endurance Championship racer. Available in left-hand drive only, it has a chassis and suspension more exotic than almost any rival, and an engine adapted from that of the F-150 pickup truck. Although its size is foreboding, the GT has a surprisingly smooth ride and is refined and easy to place on the road for a car of its ilk. And although it doesn't howl like an Italian V12, its 647 bhp V6 can still hurl you down the road with undiluted motorsport venom. A very special car. This, the likes of which don't come along often. Number 9. Ferrari Roma. None of the cars here is unattractive, but the Ferrari Roma gets a spot because it isn't just fast but possibly the prettiest Ferrari since the 458 Italia in 2010. It has all of the tech you'd expect, with the latest generation of traction and stability controls, including a smarter Ferrari side slip angle control, a system that essentially lets you dial in your desired drift and hold the car there in a beautiful, fear-free slide. Its twin-turbocharged V8 engine, meanwhile, delivers 620 PS, 456 kilowatts, of power and with a devilish noise. On top of that, its design is simple and pared back with minimal vents, scoops and creases all over the bodywork. Harsh angles and aggression are overrated. A toy simply made with a hefty price, of course. Having a Ferrari this beautiful would certainly be one of the haves for the elite's toys and a luxurious lifestyle that millionaires and even billionaires crave this excitement as part of their exquisite collections. Number 8. Porsche 911 Turbo. The Porsche 911 Turbo S is stonkingly fast, and one of the most time-warping machines out there. But it might actually be slightly overshadowed by its younger brother. The standard 992 Turbo is anything but, with the ability to climb to 62 miles per hour in under 3 seconds, about as fast as the McLaren P1 in an all-wheel drive system that means it can tackle an Alpine pass faster than most supercars in history. People may argue that a car with 4 seats cannot be a supercar, but the 911 Turbo is so astonishingly fast that it just has to be on this list. In reality, the Turbo S is too much, the Turbo is about right. If you're tight on your budget, this car might not be for you, but pretty good on our wish list. It's a must-have toys for the big boys, and with its classy and modern look, this pretty monstrous roaring machine can drive you in high style indeed. Number 7. Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. Okay, we narrowly defined supercars as generally mid-engined coupes. But every rule needs an exception, and, in this case, the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera does a pretty convincing job of blasting away our convictions. An arch blend of traditional Aston Martin values, the DBS Superleggera combines thuggish elegance, an evocative badge with long associations in the sports car world, and an unapologetically thumping hit of raw performance from its 725 PS, 533 kilowatts, twin-turbo V12. There's nothing especially groundbreaking or technologically revolutionary about it. Far from it, in fact. But true supercars should always be capable of causing a bit of a scene, and for its defiantly flicked V's, we love this bruiser of a car, in all its voluptuous glory. The Aston Martin DBS Supercar lives up to its legitimate name, not only with its look and style, but rather a stylish beauty with a thunderous performance. Number 6. Corvette C8. Corvettes have a long and rich history as America's blue-collar supercar, but have traditionally stuck to a traditional front-engine configuration and avoided direct confrontation with the European brands. The new C8 still has a pushrod V8, but moving it to the middle of the car has been a cause for much soul-searching. Never mind the fact the result is basically an entry-level supercar for the price of a 718 Cayman. Corvette traditionalists may well be conflicted by the C8's radical reinvention of the brand's core values, but you can't argue with the idea of a mid-engined supercar with a 6.2-liter, 502 PS, 369 kilowatts, naturally aspirated small-block V8 at its heart. For the first time in Corvette history, it will be built in right-hand drive form too, and, while it might not be quite so affordable on UK soil, it'll still be a lot of bang for your buck. Number 5. Honda NSX. The original Honda NSX was a wake-up call for complacent supercar manufacturers who'd long assumed owners would tolerate any number of practical limitations. Honda proved otherwise, showing you could have both performance and usability in one. For its successor, Honda could have just reinterpreted this for a new age and we'd all have been very happy. But that's not its style, and, instead, it set out to offer hybrid hypercar ability at supercar money. Basically a Porsche 918 Spyder for a quarter of the price, the NSX can purr on pure electric power at low speeds before unleashing its full turbocharged explosion of conventional combustion engine power when the moment comes. It may have the least exotic badge here, but the NSX's real-world rarity means exclusivity Ferrari and McLaren drivers can only dream of. In terms of style and usability, we thought this version of Honda can compete and have a class of its own. Number 4. Audi R8. For almost 4 decades, the Porsche 911 Turbo has patrolled the gateway into the real supercar world, offering equivalent performance but the reassurance of more normal surroundings and daily usability. A new Turbo S has just launched and carries this tradition on in fine style. But for similar money, there's now an alternative, the R8, combining the mainstream accessibility of any Audi with the more exotic vibes of a proper mid-engine supercar thanks to a howling, high-revving, naturally aspirated V10 engine and close genetic link to the Lamborghini Huracan. Like a 911 turbo, it's got all-wheel drive and you could use it every day, pretty much as you would a TT. But line up alongside a Ferrari, Lamborghini or McLaren and you can hold your head high too. Which is a neat trick, executed with typical Audi precision. Audi is a German auto manufacturer responsible for many good luxury vehicles. In addition to having posh interiors, these cars also exhibit great performance for daily driving. Number 3. Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. The Huracan is arguably Lamborghini's core model. But we can't ignore the Aventador, even if it certainly bridges the gap between super and hypercar. With its monstrous, naturally aspirated V12 engine, deliberately clunky transmission and unapologetically brutal demeanor, the Aventador is likely the last of the true supercars, which is kind of appropriate given Lamborghini is widely credited with inventing the genre with the Miura back in the 70s. And although it's old tech in many ways, the Aventador can still do the blood and guts performance thing. The SVJ version's sub-7-minute Nürburgring lap proof the attention-seeking is backed up with pace to keep the young whippersnappers on their toes. If you're going to buy a supercar, buy one, and choose Aventador. Number 2. Ferrari F8 Tributo. Traditional Ferrari road cars use front-mounted V12s, and the latest 812 Superfast is a brazen modern expression of this long history, blurring the lines between supercar and GT. But mid-engined V8s are also a staple of the range and the models that spring to mind when you think of Italian supercars. The F8 Tributo may be the third spin on the 458 Italia platform, but, given the esteem that car is still held in, that's no bad thing, and, via the 488 GTB, Ferrari has successfully navigated the tricky transition into the turbo era. The F8 Tributo's core job is to flatter egos and make anyone feel like a driving god, letting the driver think they're doing the work rather than the clever tech beneath them. And in that respect, it's a masterclass. When we speak of Ferrari, it's definitely the real deal. And before we reveal to you our top choice on the list, make sure you click that subscription button and the notification as well, so you will be updated on our next top 10 hottest and luxurious list on the planet. So back to our hypercar listing. Number 1. McLaren 720S. Accepting the criteria laid down in our intro, pretty much the whole McLaren range this side of its Ultimate Series hypercars fits the supercar definition, there being no fewer than 10 different models built on derivations of a carbon fiber tub and twin turbocharged V8 engine. The Super Series is McLaren's core product though, the 720S expressing brand values of immense performance combined with incredible tech and surprising usability. For a 212 miles per hour, 720 PS, 530 kilowatts, car capable of hitting 0 to 124 miles per hour in just 7.8 seconds, the thing that first strikes you is how refined and easy it is to drive, though its wild side is never far away. A car of huge breadth, the 720S is arguably the definitive modern supercar. Just imagine driving this beast on the road. One would imagine heightened feeling of luxury and class, a beauty with a wheels of its own. It's just super fascinating. So that wraps up our top 10 supercar, hypercar 2021 list for today, and we hope you were having a good time with our presentation. Makes you want to buy that dream supercar? Well, you better start getting your professional license first before you open up your wallet, or if you're tight on budget like me, you may want to consider buying a smaller version. A collectible supercar toy, you know what I mean. Till then, and see you guys on our next luxurious top 10 list and reviews only here at HyperDAUGH Reviews.